Hello beauties, happy Sunday. Welcome back to my channel. Happy continuation of fall. Today we're continuing the fall theme. I want to talk through my dream fall shoe collection. This one is going to be a lot more curated versus my summer shoe collection. But in that summer shoe collection video, one of you guys asked if I could film this video right for fall with my favorite fall shoes. So I am here to deliver, clearly. I will do whatever video you guys ask me to if we align on the vision, right? And if you have requests, I mean, do let me know. I am literally the hype girl of all of us. So if anyone has a request, please do let me know. But my dream fall shoe collection, like I said, it's curated. I don't want to have a bunch of fall shoes, right? Because I feel like fall is one of those seasons. You need your staples, but you don't need to overdo it. I think fall leans itself super well for you to still use your summer shoes, right? So some of the first shoes that we're gonna talk through today are in my summer shoe collection video too, right? Namely the loafers. I think loafers in fall, it's not groundbreaking, but it's a staple for a reason. I think a loafer is such a classic timeless shoe, and I think for fall you still have that coverage, right? So that your feet doesn't feel cold and exposed to the weathery weather of fall, right? But a little loafer like this, you can literally not go wrong. It gives that back to school vibe so seamlessly, or back to work for most of us, right? That you just can't go wrong with. Fall to me feels inherently preppy as well, right? These are my patent leather Hermès loafers in the noir color with the gold hardware. But obviously, as we discussed in the summer shoe collection, we have practically the same shoe, but in a brown suede, and a brown suede for fall. Groundbreaking once again. How many times can we use that reference? Brown suede for fall is literally the vibe, essentially. These I've worn so much in summer. I'm still wearing them so much in fall, and I think I'll wear them for a few more weeks, if not like one more month or something. Obviously, if you live in a warmer climate, then a shoe like this can work super well throughout winter too, but for me in Sweden, these will not work for winter. But they're definitely a fall staple for me. Obviously, like I said, these are also Hermès, just like the other loafers. And we have another pair. Oops, sorry, that was loud. We have another pair of Hermès loafers too that I will continue to wear throughout fall, even though they might not be the most like fall ready shoe in general. But they're this basically sapphire blue Hermès loafer with the Kelly buckle, and I think these shoes will go super well for fall. For one, because sapphire blue is one of my signature colors in my wardrobe, right? So this is a color that I wear all year round, and also I think this color goes so well in the fall season. A suede to me also feels inherently fall vibes, right? I wear these throughout summer, spring, and also fall, obviously. Because they're a suede, it also feels like I can get away with them in every season for some reason, right? In spring, they are literally the perfect shoe. In summer, they work because they're blue, and in fall, they work because they're suede, if that makes sense. So I literally did the best job ever picking these because I'm so obsessed with them and I wear them so much. These are also obviously Hermès, but they're a little bit more of an understated choice versus the H buckle, right? So these, I would say, if you're not into logos, look into something like this. I think these are called the Pegasus loafers or something. I don't think they have these specific ones in the current collection, but obviously scouting the pre-loved market is always a good time, so I'm sure you can find something like this on the pre-loved market. I have mine in a size, what size are these now? I think I have these in a size 37.5, if I'm not mistaken. I know in the other loafers, in the patent leather, I sized up to a size 38. I think in general, in a more rigid material, I would size up to a size 38. I think in something like a suede, I would take my regular size because suede is a little bit more malleable and they will kind of mold to your feet, right? If that makes sense. So that's my 2 cents on those. But obviously, you already saw those in my summer shoe collection. So we need to pivot before we all get bored. But I would say when the weather has gotten a little bit too cold for a loafer, my general shoe of choice will be either a riding boot or a Jodhpur. Both very equestrian themed, obviously, with my luxurious equestrian cafe style narrative. I got 2 pairs of Jodhpurs last year, or Chelsea boots we can call them too, but I think Jodhpurs leans itself a little bit better for the equestrian theme, right, which we're all about on this channel. My Jodhpur collection went from 0 to 100 real quick, to quote Drake break, right, last year. These are a pair of espresso brown Angela C Jodphurs, and these are literally my perfect boots for fall. I'm so obsessed with them. I wore them so much last year. Like I said, I'm normally a size 37. These I sized up to a size 38 because I wanted, first off, for them to be comfortable so that I could walk all day, but I also wanted to fit a thicker sock in them so that I could stay warm, also thinking ahead for winter, right? That's something that I like to do in these types of shoes, right? Think about, like, how do I stay warm? I put a thicker, like, wool sole in them, right? So that they will be, for one, a little bit more comfortable, right? Maybe I can take out one sole to show you. I have these types of soles in all of my shoes, so I don't want to take all of them out. This is annoying. Yes, there we go. I have one of these in them, right? It's just basically an insulation, like wool sole that I have in them. And that makes them, for one, give you a little bit more padding versus the ground, right? But also it makes them a little bit of a warmer shoe. So that's something that I do generally with my fall and winter shoes, right? Just to stay warm because my feet are always freezing. But with a sole like that, then it makes it a little bit better. These have a little bit of a heel, right? Like a 1-inch heel or whatever, so that you get a little bit of lift, which I think is also more comfortable when you're gonna walk far and fast in a shoe, right? So that's something I would look out for when buying like a Jodhpur or a Chelsea boot or something like that, or also a riding boot or a loafer. And also, what I adore so much with these is that they have a stitched sole. So across the connection of the shoe and the sole, you have that stitch, which makes them more of a forever boot, and it shows that the construction of the boot is really where it should be. So I'm super happy with these. Like I said, they're from Angela C. I got them from Selpy, right? So I got them pre-loved, but they were basically new when I got them, and I put a rubber sole under them because they just had a leather sole. I think a leather sole in a season like fall where it's rainy, it's weathery weather, right? Like we said, I think putting a rubber sole is literally the only way to make the shoe survive. And also with something like a suede, please spray them with suede protectant spray so that they don't get destroyed in like the rain or something like this. So do take care of them, but a Chelsea boot like this is literally so great. And obviously I said I had two. I have a black pair too, because after I bought that espresso brown pair, I'm like, I have so many outfits where I would need a black Chelsea boot. And I had a pair of ATP Atelier Jodhpurs before, or Chelsea boot. They were more Chelsea boots. These give me more Jodhpur vibes, but those were more Chelsea boots. But honestly, I never really felt comfortable in them. I felt like the sole was too thin, and I felt like, I don't know, they were just, the quality was just not what I expected it to be. And like I said, the sole was just too thin, which was my main problem with them. And this sole is a lot more substantial. It feels like more of a heavyweight, like it's very heavy holding it up like that, but it feels like a more like proper shoe, which this definitely is, and I'm super happy with these. And these are also a size 38, and Angela C was a brand that I had not heard of before, but I just did a search on Selpy of like a brown suede Chelsea boot in my size, and those popped up, and I was so happy with them, and I'm so excited to wear them also this year. And honestly, if I need more boots, I would definitely go back to Angela C because I've been super happy with those specific ones. Now, a classic that we cannot not talk about in my fall shoe roundup are riding boots. These are literally some of my most worn boots ever in my collection. Not only these specific ones, but this specific model. This is a riding boot, obviously. A riding boot, I think, is such a chic boot. Obviously, now in fashion, people are talking about like a slouchy pirate boot or whatever, but these are equestrian, these are chic, these are timeless, these are elegant. A riding boot is something that you can never go wrong with. These specific ones are my Stuart Weitzman 50/50 boots in the all leather version. These I've had for years. Literally, I go on and on about these on this channel. I mean, you guys are probably tired of hearing about them. I've fixed them up numerous times at the cobbler, right? With changing the soles, with like, I don't know, polishing up the leather. The leather has had some pretty deep scuffs actually, but I don't know how the cobbler did it. But now, I mean, they look pretty much as new. I mean, you be the judge of that, but in my opinion, they look so good for being a boot that I've worn probably for how many years? I don't even know, but I think I bought these during COVID, that I do know. So I probably bought them during like 2020 or something. And I've worn them every single year. They took a little bit of breaking in initially, but because the leather is so soft, it's the most soft. It feels almost like Chanel lambskin leather, basically. They're now like super worn in. I can walk like a 15,000 step day in these, and they just feel so comfortable. Like, these are my best boots of life. Like I said, I've had them for 5 years, and I'm so looking forward to wearing them this fall too. So if you don't have a riding boot, I would say, if you have similar style to me, right? You like to wear skirts, you like to wear jeans, you like to wear pretty preppy, kind of equestrian themed, elegant outfits, in my humble opinion, right? Then these boots are literally so great. And Stuart Weitzman is such a great shoe brand. They've made high quality shoes for years and years, and I think they're one that should not be boxed in only to the, like, you know, lowland or highland boots, right? The thigh high boots or the over the knee boots, right? I have those too. I'm not really including them. Like, I have both the highlands and the lowlands. I'm not really including them in my fall shoe roundup this year because honestly, I'm not super excited about them this year. This is the thing with style, right? We go in and out of being excited about different pieces, and those specific shoes I'm not super excited about this year. I'm more into the loafers, the Jodphurs, and the riding boots, and those are literally the 3 categories of shoes that I'm just like, these are my fall staples for 2025. And I'm not saying that I'm ever gonna get rid of my lowlands or highlands from Stuart Weitzman, right? But I'm also saying that you don't have to be obsessed with all shoes in your collection at all times. It will probably go a couple of years and then I'll be like, oh my god, those lowlands I'm wearing on a daily basis. I'm so excited about them, right? And that's completely fine. Or at least it is in my wardrobe, because like I've said before, I prefer to have a little bit more variety, just keep a bunch of things and then just have it and have like a wardrobe full of opportunities. If I change my mind about something, it's still there and I can still wear it, and it's so much fun to like rediscover things and shop your closet and blah blah blah. Another pair of riding boots that are very equestrian, right? Because these are a pair of Hermès boots. These I bought last year. They're a pair of espresso brown boots. They are essentially the kind of jumping boot style, meaning that you have the shaft of the boot that's pretty straight up and down, so it's a little bit wide. I would say for my calf in general, these are too wide, but I think that's also the beauty of an Hermès boot. It should look like a proper riding boot, which is also probably why it's called a jumping boot. And also, I am an equestrian girly at heart. I used to have horses. I used to do jumping competitions. So something like this is just, it just feels nostalgic to me. And obviously an Hermès boot is an aggressively priced boot. I bought these on the pre-loved market personally, so I did not pay the extortionate price of whatever 2,000 something euros these would be new in the store. I would say if you're not into buying secondhand shoes, probably go for something like Stuart Weitzman boot instead of an Hermès boot, because in terms of quality, obviously Hermès quality is superior to everything. Hermès quality in my mind is just top notch, right? But I would say the Stuart Weitzman boots are pretty close, if not as good quality, right? So I'm a huge fan of Hermès footwear, as we've already discussed. I mean, looking at the little loafer collection back there, and these I'm just so happy to have in my collection. And these I'm so looking forward to wearing this fall and winter, obviously too. I have a sole in them, like the wool sole that we spoke about in the Angela C boots. I have that in the Stuart Weitzman 50/50 boots too. And I have these in a size 38, I think it is, so that I can wear a thick sock with them too. I have already tried these on with some fall outfits, specifically this outfit right here that I'm gonna pop up. I'm so excited about a monochrome brown look, and also these with my gray Max Mara coat. I'm just like, oh my god, so chic, so fabulous. I'm so excited. And these boots, like I started wearing them last year and I'm so excited to bring them out again. And like I said, I'm just the biggest fan ever of Hermès footwear. And I would say in general, no one needs such extortionately priced footwear. But it's just my little curated collection with the things I'm so obsessed with, and I would say Hermès footwear is my absolute favorite. So you do with that what you will. So all in all, I would say my absolute staples are a few loafers in colors that you wear the most. For me personally, that would be a sapphire blue and then the brown and black, because brown and black are the colors that I ground my outfits in. Case in point with the Jodphurs, case in point with the riding boots too. So I would say if you want a curated little collection, think about which are like my staple shoe styles in cold weather. Pick a couple of colors or maybe just one color. If you're like Liza and you wear black, or as we call it, noir, all the time, then just buy the black boots and buy them from the brand that you appreciate, buy them in the color that you appreciate, in the style, and just in the perfect size. If you need to fit a thick sock, buy a half size up or something like this, right? I just briefly also want to talk about some event shoes, because I thought about it. I'm like, well, in terms of event shoes, these are not going to be different versus what you've seen in my summer shoe collection. But honestly, I'm so excited about Bordeaux, because obviously Bordeaux is one of my signature colors. And I thought about it and I'm like, what event shoes am I excited to wear for fall? And these were literally the first ones I thought of. Or not the first one, the second ones in all honesty. The first ones I thought of we're going to talk about as the final shoe in this little collection or curated little edit. But these are my Manolo Blahnik little flats. The ones with the open side, the ones with the round crystal buckle, and these are the most gorgeous Bordeaux color ever. And the sparkles sparkle like there's no tomorrow. It's just such a beautiful shoe. And I've been thinking about this with like a Bordeaux colored stocking and then like a little black dress or a little brown dress. I don't have one, but maybe if I'm a good girly, maybe I can get one, right? But I was just thinking these would be such a beautiful event shoe for fall. And honestly, like an event shoe that is also a flat shoe is such a flex, because if you can wear a cute shoe for an evening event and it's a flat, you are winning, my friend. So these I'm so excited to wear. These I've been wearing a lot. I mean, I wear them in all seasons, but I was just thinking that for fall, if you want like a little event shoe, go on a little Vestiaire Collective stroll and see if you can find something like this in a flat, in a beautiful fall color. I mean, also something like this in like a plum or a sapphire blue would be so chic. But the ones I have are the Bordeaux ones, and I'm so excited to wear them for fall. Now, the final little shoe. Obviously, as we've all seen, The Life of a Showgirl is coming out on October 3rd. We've spoken about this before on my channel. Obviously, the Taylor Swift album we're talking about. We're Swifties here, if you didn't know already. And in some of the album art, right, for The Life of a Showgirl, Taylor Allison Swift herself was wearing some René Cavilla chandelier heels, and I'm just like, well, hello, I have those. So obviously now for fall, we're excited about these. Inherently, these are not a fall shoe, all right? These are more of a summer shoe with a little cute dress and a little evening event, right, where you're going out for cute drinks or something like this. But also, now that October will be Life of a Showgirl month, and I have these heels, I'm just like, well, Halloween this year will have to be Life of a Showgirl themed, and I obviously have the perfect shoes for it, which I'm just so excited about. I'm happy to have these, I'm happy that I got them, and I'm happy that Taylor Swift also sees the vision for these, right? We've already discussed how obsessed I am with these and that you guys gave a mixed review, right? But I am just so thrilled about these and I'm so happy to have them, and they're just the most beautiful sparkly shoe. I hope the camera will pick it up, but it looks like it in the viewfinder. But these are just beautiful. So these are now the Taylor Swift Life of a Showgirl shoe, and we are obviously so excited about it, guys. These were all of my fall shoes that we're gonna talk about today. Clearly, these are not all of the shoes that I could wear for fall in my collection, but these are just my curation or my little edit of fall shoes that I am particularly excited about this fall. What shoes are you excited about this fall? I would love to know. Thank you so much for spending this time and space with me. If you made it this far, please do comment that little heart, the little red heart with the fire, right, that Taylor Swift is using for The Life of a Showgirl, because clearly we are Swifties, or whatever. If you're not a Swiftie, use whatever emoji you want to, right? But just for that that little vibe of the chandelier heels, I think that heart is what we need to comment this week. But like I said, thank you for spending this time and space with me. I will see you back here with my next video, and until then, stay safe, take care, and I will see you soon. Bye!